Okay.
So I understand it. More.
Me too. So I think we're on the same page.
You've got his hand raised, or is actually? Okay, yeah. Okay, so I was like, okay, does he have a question?
That was quick.
Then I'm gonna say, quick, stop.
Right.
I mind.
Usually mine has
But,
lots here.
Yeah.
It's not-
Rate the time.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You heard of that?
Thank you for noticing.
No, it's just,
Will you run up? Yep.
Yeah.
Up the other road. Road. Not trail. Access or work. And most of it goes right beside the train. I don't know where the rest of the wobbles go. So you gotta beat the train up? There's a 3. So they run it to 3 miles an hour. And then they have the 2 diesels. So the diesel, one diesel goes down to 4, and then maybe ours 2 is 5. So you can do them. I think the 3 races, that's what they're saying this year. I hope they do it.
That mountain is hard. That's 20 miles.
You have to get on your. But not.
Yeah.
All right, 6 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So Steve did not get a copy of the minutes and I was not at the last meeting, so we're gonna hold them over till next meeting. And at this moment, we're gonna start the hearing on the receipt of a state highway grant. So I will call the hearing to order. And
we got, actually, I'll just read the verbiage that's right there. We're holding a select board hearing meeting and a hearing on unanticipated funds. We got, hang on a second, I should have brought my glasses. For the purpose of accepting $134,981.21 in one-time New Hampshire DOT Highway Assistance Funds from, surprisingly, the state of New Hampshire. And it goes through, the board intends to use the approximately $77,713 of these funds in conjunction with other previously appropriated funds to replace 2 highway trucks. The total cost of the replacement of the 2007 International 306 at a price not to exceed $67,079. All of the grant and the 2011 Dodge 411 using $10,634 of grant money and a price not to exceed $141,100. Let me try that one more time, ladies and
No worries, Nick.
$141,229. The balance will be used to fund paving of the Canaan highways in 2023. Thanks.
Absolutely.
any discussion? I get a motion to accept.
I would make a motion to accept.
Steve?
I gotta take myself off mute. I'll second that motion.
Yes, indeed.
All in favor?
Aye.
With that, we'll accept the funds and we'll close the public hearing, go back to the meeting. Yeah, so for any of you who have not met Ned, Ned is our new town administrator. He's started yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that we're not gonna go over tonight because he started yesterday.
Okay, throwing into the fire here, so.
Get a chance, to welcome him aboard.
thanks.
We're gonna hold off on the budget, a report on purchase of trucks for the highway department.
Actually, Mr. Chairman, can I add one thing about the budget,
Sure.
actually? The budget and actual, we're actually in good shape, so please don't fear that there is something untoward that has happened or occurred or whatever. Budget's in good shape, we're solid. We will very likely have some unexpended funds at the end of the fiscal year. And we'll deposit that into the appropriate reserve accounts.
Yeah.
Awesome.
As per, previous town meeting day votes.
Thank you. Awesome.
You want something, JR?
No, don't worry.
What's up?
Yeah.
You all right?
I'll be right back. I'll talk with you, Jerry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You okay?
All right, I don't know.
That's Jay.
So. Since Dan stepped out and we already know how he's gonna vote on the deed for the cozy corner. Steve, you want to make a motion to sign the deed for the cozy corner?
Yes, I will make a motion to sign the deed for the cozy corner for 66,000. Is that correct?
The purchase and sale agreement says.
On the first page.
Yeah, 66,000. The town has already agreed to sell this property to the buyer for the sum of $66,000.
Okay. All right, so I'll second that. You want to wait till Dan comes in or,
No, go ahead, please.
so all in favor?
Aye.
So
My assumption is that Dan was a
Dan is a no.
no, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So I can sign it tonight, but Steve will have to sign it when he comes in.
Okay, that'll be Friday.
Okay?
Very good. Would you like me to go over the truck purchases?
Yeah, please.
Okay. We have 3 trucks. Per what I just read about from the previous public hearing, 3 trucks we're going to replace. One Dodge 550, it's relatively old. We're gonna use some grant money. We're gonna replace the GMC Sierra 2500. Again, but this is with approved or previously approved capital reserve funds for 59,000. And we're gonna replace truck 309 with $67,000 in some.
306. Yeah.
306, excuse me.
Okay.
With some grant funds, so this has been in the works for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
They're getting,
Yeah.
at least one of them when I read the date, is relatively long in the tooth and, they're ready to be replaced.
What's 306?
International.
Okay. 6-wheeler. Yep.
And as I remember, the Dodge was 2000 something or other, 2001's a 2007, and the other one was 2011.
Okay.
And we have a purchase and sale agreement for their replacements ready to go already. And in fact, the road agent is eager to go up and make that deal happen prior to snow season.
Right. So the next thing on the agenda is the water and sewer rate. I don't have any documentation on that. Do you?
I don't either, and why don't we put that off for right now? That's a Mike thing, and I'm gonna have to come up to better speed on that.
Okay, because Dan was saying that these 4 choices here, we either need to do at least one of them or all of them.
A combination of the above.
Yeah,
I know there's some potential new users, so increasing number of users, or we're talking a marginal number of
yeah,
5 or 10.
Yeah,
Pardon?
I was gonna say, it goes back, Scott, to funding Jason in that second position, so.
okay.
So, but I will need more information myself to guide you on a good decision, and I will get you that information for the next meeting.
All right, we'll wait for Dan on the training reimbursement and the MS1.
But back for the water and sewer rates, more than likely, it's gonna be a combination of several of the above.
Yeah, and I have some ideas on that too, so. I'll touch base with Ned. I'll touch base with Ned later on, so.
Very good.
Well, Dan, we went through everything on the agenda.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Amazing we can do with one selectman.
Okay, have a good one, guys.
So actually what we did was we did the vote for Cozy Corner with the assumption that Jared was a no.
Yes,
The water and sewer rate, we discussed briefly, but we're gonna probably review that and have it next meeting.
okay,
Ned gave us a report on the trucks that are being purchased.
Okay.
So now we're at, training reimbursement agreement for, emergency management. All right, so I see that here.
Yes, and that was discussed at the prior meeting,
Okay,
that they would sign on if and when they receive the training, they would sign on
yeah, I don't.
or well, I just going over it for
Yep.
the general public.
absolutely.
That they would agree to remaining with the organization for 2 years.
Okay,
Okay, yep,
And
and
that's been used in other organizations and it's a pretty,
pretty standard, right? That's what I was seeing as well, and I've reviewed it. And it looks acceptable to
yeah,
me.
I saw it too.
Stephen,
Yep, yeah, I reviewed it. I'm good.
so I put a motion in to accept it.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
okay,
very good, thank you.
All right, the next thing is the MS1 approval.
Yes, we need your signature on it. It's the
Yep,
standard form that's sent in.
right,
I
and it's
forget
done, it's done by the assessing company,
Correct.
so.
and an MS1 for just 2 sentences here. The MS1 for all of the general public that's listening is what our assessing company does. It is a summary inventory of valuation. So this is what our assessing company gives to us of what all of the properties in Canaan evaluations are. So this is what we help set our tax base on. So this is the form, the MS1 form has to be turned into the state
Yes,
so they can then.
set our tax
Set
rate,
our
we
tax
set our
rate.
budget next year.
Have you seen this, Steve?
I have.
So we need a motion.
I'll put a motion in to accept it.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I can swing by Friday to sign that as well, Ned, so.
Okay, very good. God willing, I'll be there.
You better be. I hope we don't get rid of you in 1 week, so holy cow.
No, I was thinking more of like my wife will be down for the life insurance very quickly.
Yeah.
Sure he gets.
Okay. Thank you, Ned.
Next thing, paving on the basketball court. I know we talked about it, filling that hole in. Is it gonna pave the whole thing or are they just gonna patch?
So, Scott, what I have become aware of since we spoke last is there had actually been a designated fund from the
Oh, okay.
Williams Foundation
Yep.
to resurface the court itself.
Okay,
So I asked Bob Cushman to get a proposal for paving it, and I believe Mike got a proposal for paving it.
okay,
I don't have any of those in front of us, so. But basically, there's a certain amount set aside to pave it, and everyone is in belief that that amount will.
we'll take care of it.
We'll
It's more than enough, yeah.
Well,
And I thought they had a date that they could do it by the end of October too, I believe.
so,
Perfect.
uh,
So we don't need a motion.
nope, more of a thank you to the Williams Foundation than anything, so
Yep.
thank you,
Consensus
Yeah.
that says
absolutely,
continue forward.
Yep.
Make it happen.
thank
Okay,
you.
very good.
All right, the next thing is vacation carryover.
That's for Gloria.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
I thought we had kind of,
Well, I think we talked about it. I think we're all in agreement. I'm okay with it if you want to make a motion or whatever, but
do you want to make a motion?
I will make a motion to accept the offer to carry vacation.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Personnel contracts for police and town administrator.
I have not had time to even review my own contracts.
Sorry, I was
Why
gonna
don't we
say,
just put this off?
yeah,
till the next
because
one?
I've looked at the new chiefs, but I've not seen the town administrator one.
So,
I'm
in fact, I can get you, I'll email copies around.
Yeah, why don't you make sure we all got copies of both?
Yeah, email, I did receive an email with the police chief, the town administrator, and the other things here that we're getting ready to discuss. I reviewed them. And they look good. I'm in favor of waiting a bit until you guys are on the same page.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
All right, so we flew through that.
Bam.
Other business. Does anybody have any other business?
If I may, Jim Lapp and I
Yeah.
live up on Godfrey Trail, but I've also been working with the owners of the Red Wagon. And I believe the board has in front of it a proposed purchase and sale agreement for
Correct.
the remaining portions. Because I wasn't here for all the earlier meetings, my understanding that last year the board actually had hired a surveyor to put together all of the various little pieces and plots that were right on the corner of Route 4, and actually put together a survey map that put them all together, added them together, and actually went ahead and filed that with the registry of deeds, and then found out that although they had the express authorization to sell the Cody Corner lot, which
Right.
has been authorized tonight, the existing parcels that were around it would need to have the approval of the town.
Correct.
So I've been working with Mike Sampson, obviously the people that are here are the owners of the Red Wagon. And so we worked on a proposal for a purchase and sale agreement for the other item, the other piece of that little jigsaw puzzle on the corner of Route 4 that would be contingent upon a town vote. And so to be able to put us in a position where we can buy what we've already committed to, but have an opportunity to have the rest of it that we originally thought we were gonna get back several months ago. We've got a purchase and sale agreement, which is pretty standard form, the whereas is on page 1, pretty well lay out the history of where the board and the people of Red Wagon have been for the last 5 or 6 months. So what we'd like to do is have the board sign that, obviously contingent upon the town going forward and giving the approval at the town meeting. But this is what basically allows all of us to see that the property, which includes the parking lot, little pieces like that, will be also part of the overall purchase that we originally anticipated when we had the survey map put together by the Cardigan Mountain Survey.
So I just got this tonight.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to look this over before, because it's just me that has to sign it. So I'd like to read through this if you don't mind.
I understand that.
Okay.
And feel free to ask any question.
Okay,
What I supposed to before I sit down, that's a pretty standard form purchase and sale agreement. I've been.
yeah, I know, but it's still my signature. Yeah, yeah.
And I think the interesting stuff would probably page 1 where it lays out what it's all about.
Okay, thanks. Any other business?
Yeah, I was just wondering, when are you ever gonna put the sign up on Gristmill Hill Bridge? I thought we talked about that like 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
We'll have to ask her.
I thought Bob said at the last meeting that it just came in or Mike said it at the last meeting, it just come in, so.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that crossing my ears today, so I'm pretty sure they're there. If they're not there, we'll get them there and get them up and out.
So I asked Bob that a couple weeks ago, and he said they had just come in. So it's been a couple weeks since they just come in. They need to go up. So we'll discuss it. Dale, if you see Bob, when you see Bob in the morning, let him know.
Yeah,
that-
they're over there.
Yeah, we can get the signs up. So, yeah, okay.
There's been a couple of chances that they were supposed to have been put up and who knows,
Yeah.
something else come up
Well,
and
Exactly. You guys have got a ton
kicked
going on.
aside.
I had something. Is that all? like, I don't want to step up if somebody else is getting ready to address something else. So I had a couple issues that I just wanted to discuss to kind of make everybody aware of, and I guess if nothing else, just express my kind of, I'm not real okay with what's going on with the transfer station trailer. We have to keep circling back to this thing. I don't know why it's still in play, but it is. So, over the last few weeks, I have become aware that the trailer was brought out. Well, I knew this when the fellas said to Mike, go ahead and, you know.
That was a
Yeah,
while ago.
yeah, a couple meetings ago.
Yeah.
So it was transported to ATG, which is Advanced Trucking Group, which is where the old Freightliner building is in Lebanon. And it was inspected. And so then after digging into it a bit here, I got a mixed bag on whether it actually had an inspection sticker or if they just did a visual inspection to tell us what shape the trailer was in. So I called ATG and I spoke with the service manager, and he told me that they gave us an inspection sticker for that truck. The truck has it has cracks a foot long down the frame over the axles. The truck is not, the trailer rather, is not worthy for the road. And I know I don't own an inspection station, but I did have a gentleman here in town who does own an inspection station give a report on the trailer. And then I had another gentleman who owns a fabrication shop here in town give a report on the trailer. And then it gets taken to some place and gets a sticker on it. And then it gets tucked back over in the transfer station. And then, so this is where my concern comes even further. We hired a mechanic. And we hired collectively, the three of us hired what we believe is a good mechanic. And he's gonna do good things for our town. We've been working with him and around him now for a month or so. He's got a real good attitude and he's a can-do guy. And so you take that and you couple that with the trailer situation. And I will tell you, I spoke with our road agent today, about an hour and a half or so ago, when I'm walking on the rail trail. And I asked him, so I knew what I was talking about when I come in here. How many functioning trucks do we have right now that can go on the road with inspection stickers on them? Two.
Yeah, just so.
Two trucks that out of 8. One of them out of 6. One of those trucks is being built. One of them is we are going to pick up. So I'm not counting the one that we're trading. It's out of 6. We have 2 functioning trucks with inspection stickers on them, so we could actually go to work out on the road. So to the people who text me this morning and asked why we're not on the road working, that is why. So that's why I'm addressing this here. I'm not trying to stir the pot. I, as a select board representative, am getting asked from our taxpayers why our trucks aren't out on the road. So then I start finding out why. Okay, they're all broke down, and the trailer that is sitting in the transfer station, they got an inspection sticker from ATG. Our mechanic is over there working on that. And our trucks are at ATG and our tax dollars are paying them to fix it.
So when did that happen? Because
Within the last 3 weeks.
Because I came into the office yesterday and we discussed that. And we discussed the fact that the mechanic should be working on the trucks, that the trailer would sit there if it has to. If the mechanic has absolutely nothing else to do, he can work on the trailer, but the trucks have to come first.
Perfect.
So that's what was discussed yesterday in the office, correct?
And I discussed the same thing with Dan.
Okay,
later on that
so I am in total agreement with you on that.
Right.
Okay, we have the trailer passed inspection. When it comes time, if you're gonna put in a warrant article, say to change the transfer station, well, that'll become a moot point. The only reason why you agreed to the trailer, like we told you before, is we have to keep the transfer station going.
So here's why JR just came in.
Yeah.
The transfer station is ready to fail. Because the trailer that he's transporting stuff with at this point, he's not sure how much longer it's gonna
The one
last.
that's currently in use.
Right.
The one that you're using for trash.
One we're using for trash, right? So I spoke with him earlier. We spoke. I didn't speak with him. I was going through the transfer station and he was sitting in his truck where he always
Okay.
does and we were talking. So, he told me it's full and we're gonna be out tomorrow, so he's getting an open box and all
Okay.
from Fred. Yeah, Sharon.
Public comment, Jason Hurley. It should be 3 trucks inspected, the 2 10-wheelers and auto 6-wheeler. At this point, I would suggest that we let Guy finish it or to sell it or use it.
Just
So,
how,
I'm reading it, but it says.
Gotcha.
Jason, if you can get on and talk, we'd love to talk with you.
yep. Yeah, that's why I started the discussion. Talk to me. If I'm missing something, please let me know.
I don't think you're missing anything. I was just suggesting that we're this far into that trailer, we might as well finish it up, whether to use it or sell it as we wanted it for originally or whatever. So that way it's all done complete. Another town can buy it for the same use that we were intending on it. That's all.
Okay, but I don't want to spend any more money working on that trailer. So like I said, if the mechanic's got nothing else to do, he can work on it.
The chance of the mechanic
But
having
like-
nothing else to do is zero.
My understanding is Bob wants at least 2 plow trucks ready to go.
By the
within-
15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But-
need,
And I don't disagree with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what he needs to have done.
I guess basically I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention and get some feedback as to why. Yeah, Ned.
One point on Bob's behalf.
Yeah.
is Bob's not saying we're gonna have snow. We're
No.
gonna have to put out some sand or
Right.
with some ice.
Right, he wants them ready to go.
Ready to go, and
Yeah,
then
right.
they have to be set up, ready to go.
So I guess that's my reason for bringing it up, is I want publicly, once and for all, to figure out what we're doing with that trailer. At this point, until I started causing a scene a couple days ago, the mechanic was scheduled to go over there and start cutting the top off the other trailer and putting it on this one.
It's already
And-
been done.
It's been done.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Well,
He's been over there a couple of days
Yeah.
last week and cut the old roof off the other trailer sitting on the ground.
Yeah. And our trucks are at 603.
And this
Truck and
one-
equipment and at ATG, and we're paying those people to fix our trucks. Which, by the way, I have been mentioning that what I have found by discussing with the previous road agent a little bit, this road agent, our mechanic, Dale, all of the guys at the town garage, right? Is the main reason, the main problem with our fleet is lack of maintenance. Comes with not having a mechanic for a couple of years. I understand that. I'm not saying that doesn't come with it. However, the truck that's at 603, truck and equipment. There's a set of leaf springs in the back that have shackles that attach to the frame. Off that shackle, there's a shaft or a rod, and there's a bushing that sits around that where the spring slides over. That bushing is non-existent. It has a grease fitting. That truck is a 2019,
Something like that, they were saying,
yeah.
I was saying.
So, our mechanic stepped into a huge mess. And I know we have to farm some things out, but we shouldn't be farming everything out so he can work on that. And I think that's what Scott just said, so I won't keep carrying on about it. but-
so the question being though is, did that message get conveyed to the mechanic?
When I come in tomorrow morning, I'll zip by the garage and make sure Guy
It's
knows
very good.
us first. Okay,
Yeah.
for a second.
Tom?
Thank you.
This is a question out of ignorance, but I'm trying to understand. Dan, you just said something that I think Stephen had said to me at the last meeting.
Right.
And that is that the problem with our vehicles, the problem with our trucks has been lack of maintenance, largely driven by the fact that we didn't have a town mechanic. And
Yes.
yet, if I'm understanding what you're saying, we've got trucks at 2 other non-town locations, private
Facilities, yes,
facilities that are doing maintenance work on those trucks.
right.
Why didn't we do that?
We were. But it just wasn't a general, it wasn't the preventative maintenance that needed to be done. It was sent over there to get repairs done.
Right.
Okay, the problem was that if the the preventative maintenance had been done, some of the stuff would have been repaired. Had to be repaired.
Okay.
So
And we were also cognizant of the fact that even when Guy got on board, we were so far behind the 8 ball that we we're gonna still have to use some outside agencies to help get things caught back up.
Yeah, no, I'm not questioning using the
Right.
outside
Yeah,
folks. 'cause
why didn't we
obviously
do it
there's-
2 years ago?
Yeah,
is the question.
I'm just trying to understand.
I think I have an answer for that, because I asked the same question. And what I have found over the last couple weeks is that so we have our own inspection station here. Our mechanic is in process of getting his New Hampshire state inspection license. Our previous road agent had a New Hampshire state inspection license. So everything got a sticker on it without getting the repairs it needed. So we were stickering all of this stuff without doing the proper repair on it,
So we're literally stickering over products.
literally.
Yeah.
100%.
Hey, I also think that by human nature, we're repairing stuff as it broke, not preventing it from getting to that point. And we were
Right, no
waiting,
preventive
because we were paying it out of pocket, literally to an outside company, that we were waiting until things actually broke and then we would take it in.
Right. And
Yeah,
Dale,
well, the old boss, never enforced the truck drivers to grease their trucks.
Right.
So
Right.
hopefully Bob will start doing it for too long.
I think. absolutely.
'Cause
because that was actually
There's been
directed
drivers in
yeah.
my truck.
That-
And the truck I drive in the winter hasn't seen any grease since the last time I greased it.
Right.
And the front springs, when you're taking corners, you can hear the front end clunking,
And what saves equipment, Dale?
a little bit of grease.
Bang, right? Yeah.
I will download tomorrow well, I'm calling it here, a pre-flight plan, but a checklist in and a checklist out at the end of the day.
Very good.
The other thing that I would suggest is do we have not a wash bay, but a wash program?
We don't have a wash program. We have a pressure washer, but we need to get some trucks on a wash program.
Yeah.
That particular,
That's
that's a
the-
good call, Nate.
That's the other thing that, if you're doing the grease, that's nice, but you gotta wash off, and I was about to say a bad word. You wash off the stuff
Yeah,
at the end of the day, because
Right.
that, although it may not extend the life of the truck beyond 5 years, 7 years, whatever the truck's lifespan is, it'll make the resale value even incrementally more, or make it last another year or two, because now
right.
it's taking 18 months at the best to find some of these trucks, and then you get the cab and the chassis, you still have to outfit it, and that takes even
And,
more.
and if you're washing it and doing that preventive maintenance, you're spending less money maintaining the truck because it's not breaking as much. So you get a double, it's a twofer.
You also get somebody else's eyes looking at something saying,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
That's not a stick across the frame, that's something bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And a big key of why I mention this tonight publicly is because there are people questioning us constantly right now. We're coming into winter, a lot of the roads aren't quite where they need to be. They're not seeing our trucks around. They're seeing them at different garages. This is why. So now we as a community can start understanding why it is, and we can start talking to our neighbors. I know that that particular truck, that the bushings are non-existent. No, it is the other truck that is at ATG. We went over to pick the truck up because they thought they had it repaired, because what they did there, from what I understand, is reprogram the transmission because it needed to be updated and this and that. When we went over to pick it up, the transmission lines started leaking because they're rotted, and the truck's only like 3 or 4 years old. So I just want to publicly get it out here so it's on everyone's radar, and we just start. I mean, it takes a village, and we got a lot of stuff going on, so. No, perfect, thank you.
One question. There's, I've been seeing trucks around town that have this side panel that says telecom on it. And they've got meters and they're going to poles and driveways and all this kind of stuff. Any idea what that is?
No idea, but they probably are, and this is a guess, because I used to be in an industry that did similar things. They're assessing whether there's leaking voltage and what's going on with the telephone poles.
Okay,
So,
Gotcha.
it's got nothing to do with high-speed internet.
well. no, not those eyes, yeah. You know,
They were actually at my house, so.
Well, definitely not for high-speed internet then.
Okay.
unless it's going, that high speed's going up to skiers up at Greens.
That's right. So I don't have anything else. I appreciate
You,
you here in the house.
Steve, you have anything?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Do we have anything non-public? I don't know. Okay,
I thought so, but
Then we can hang out afterwards if you.
I don't know if it got scheduled or not, so.
so, well, we don't have to schedule it non-public, but if you guys have something to discuss, as long as it's qualified for non-public, we can talk after that.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I don't care if Ned and Sharon stay there for a second. Like I said, I just had a question quick, so.
did not.
Okay, so we need a motion to go into non-public.
I'll make a motion to go into non-public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Fairly quick meeting tonight. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you all attending.